don't bite. So Good evening, everybody. It's August 19th. This is the Ross Township Board regular meeting. I am calling the board meeting to order. Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, you may proceed with attendance.
Supervisor Hutchings.
Here.
Mary Stage, here. Treasurer Wiersma.
Here.
Trustee Langshaw. Trustee Beeks.
Here.
Trustee White.
Here.
Trustee Harmon is absent with cause. Rob Thal is present.
Thank you. I would be seeking a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion with support to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Moving into the consent agenda, I would be seeking a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion with support to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Moving into citizen comment at 6:01 PM. I will be pulling up my timepiece here. Please speak up. The meeting is being recorded for YouTube. We would appreciate if you clearly state and spell your last name for the minutes. As a form of housekeeping, I don't want anybody's address. So first name, last name, no address, please. Comments are strictly limited to 3 minutes. Citizen comment is designed for one-way commentary to address the board. All citizens providing comments should address their remarks to the supervisor, board chair, who may respond to provide brief factual information. Board members will refrain from speaking during citizen comment, and if citizens need specific assistance, please contact Ross Township during business hours for additional guidance or information. We do have a full house tonight, so I will be keeping the 3-minute clock to a hard break. So don't be offended if the 3 minutes comes up and you're done. Who would like to lead us off? Please come to the podium.
I'm Patricia Doran, and I am here.
Oh, wait, hold on. Why are you not working? Is it? It worked earlier. Matt, how loud can you be?
I'm very loud.
All right,
I have Axe My Tax petitions. This is a citizens' initiative to place an end to property taxes on the ballot for voters to decide. I have the petitions to collect signatures, and I can answer questions at the farmer's market tomorrow. That is Wednesday in the afternoon from 3 to 6. I will be there with this. I cannot answer any questions now, but I can then. We're always looking for more people to collect petition signatures, and I can provide petitions, and so can Carrie Lynn Enoch. Thank you.
You're welcome. Can, Mr. Humboldt, can you pull that right up? That way you're not there. Now try it again. Blow on it.
Chris Humboldt, H-E-L-M-B-O-L-D.
All right, it's not working. I might need to change batteries. Talk loud.
Yes, I'm just making comments on the roads. Seems like G Avenue is taking a long time, hoping that's done by the time the school buses run. I was driving the other day and there was a big truck came through and knocked over a cone. Hit my car. Didn't do any damage, but I can see trouble maybe with the school buses going through there. I also wondering about the curbing. Seems like that's a big added expense, and I really question if that's necessary.
Thank you, Mr. Humboldt. Don't anybody talk. I have to go get batteries. Hang on just a quick second. Duties as outlined by supervisor right here. All right, I apologize for that. I did a sound check earlier and it worked just fine.
My name is Mark Rogers. This is a rerun. I think this is the third meeting that I've raised this issue. As you are aware, Director Crum has requested or stated there were $287,000 in cost overruns connecting the residents to the sewer. And he approached Ross Township and said, I want you to pass those on to the residents. I'm concerned, as I've stated before, that we may see those expenses, but it will not be right out in the open. This has been going on for a long time. I believe it was it December, into November last year when this was raised?
Yes.
And I keep saying I'd like an update. I don't understand why Ross Township cannot put something on the web telling residents where this is at. Will you do that?
Let me ask legal counsel. I'm not sure if I can. Am I allowed to do an update or can I respond now? Or would you like to respond?
I think you could probably do an update on the web or something like that.
I will work with Attorney Thal to put something out on the website.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Really? Okay.
Sorry, I'm late. My name is Carrie Lynn Eliff, and I would like my comments and my documentation to be put into the meeting minutes, please. Sorry, I came from Grand Ledge. So numerous residents are concerned and frustrated at the lack of Chief Brown's presence in the community, and rightfully so. The lack of benefits to the exorbitant cost are unjustifiable. In 2024, Ross Township had 2,056 incidences, with Chief Brown only responding to 149. Through June of 2025, 1,246 incidences, and Chief Brown responded to only 74. This is not only disturbing, it's negligible. I'm asking the board to terminate the contract with Chief Brown, as Ross residents should not incur the cost. Also, I'm pressing that no public safety liaison be voted on at the expense of Ross Township. If it's a volunteer, that's totally fine. I'm willing to even participate in that. If the sandbar, I know that they really like him. If they want to keep him on, then they could take up a special assessment district tax to pay his salary. But Ross residents are not getting the benefit for the cost that it's keeping him to be on. Most of this board has heard the audio of Chief Brown screaming at two elderly ladies on a subject that he knew nothing about. And after the horrible tragedy, his narrative became that he was by the sandbar, his boat only goes 40 miles an hour, and the patrol car went 90 miles an hour. The very next day after I heard this narrative, I received an email from the friend of Supervisor Hutchings parroting this exact same narrative. The board received an email yesterday with disturbing accusations. I wouldn't even bring it up, except I've heard numerous similar accusations of calling up to Chief Brown and him saying, call Richland, because he's busy. Earlier this year, while picking up a FOIA, I heard Chief Brown in another room talking to somebody and saying, I'm going to go talk to him, and if he gives me any grief, I'm going to go Calhoun on him. Again, the lack of presence in Ross Township is a huge, huge problem. And in all transparency, there were some on the,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
Can you hand me your comments?
Yes.
Next. All right, we are done, 6:11 PM. Moving into various committee reports. I'll start. We do have a lightning strike claim currently opened with our insurance provider. And so far I have a generator bill for $1,408. And I have the fire department radios replacement at $616.99. And I still have not received the EPS invoice for the front door security, the electrical box in the IT server room, and replacement of the key fob strike pad at the front door. So once I receive those, I will share those out with the board. Moving on to the second piece of business is, I think that's it for me. Yep. Next.
The fire board did not have a special meeting. Our next meeting will be September 14th. We set up committees, and the three committees are personnel, operations, and capital improvement plan. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next.
I can offer that we did set up to start receiving cards at the Ross Township Park, and so far we've gotten 19 payments, so it's working great. So that's my report on that. We did have the car show this past weekend for the fire department, and that was hugely successful. We had 92 cars, so it was fun.
How was that in relation to last year?
Last year we had 73, so it was cloudy last year, and people don't take their cars out. So, yeah.
I love it. So I'm going to have a model stand up. I want everybody to stand up, our new car show t-shirt. There's the favorite car, number 2. Thank you, Val. Thank you for that. Thank you. It's okay. So how can we have individuals get their hands on that gorgeous t-shirt?
Just call up here, we have them up here. And they are $20, and proceeds go to the Ross Augusta Fire Association to help support, fun things to buy for the fire department or equipment. So just call up here at the office or shoot us an email and we can get you a shirt.
Thank you. Thank you, Val. You're a good sport. Anyone else?
Right, I put at everybody's desk a fee schedule, because Michael brought up some information last time, and I redid it, and you can see the changes that I made. We are still just over a little bit. I wouldn't change it, because I'm sure at times There are times when you guys go over discussing someone being here, and you maybe have shorter. I think it all works out in the end. So I redid that. You can look that over, and we can discuss it next month if anybody wants to have it put on the agenda. And then also, I gave you information concerning the Earned Sick Time Leave Act, which I had conversation with Attorney Thal on, and the board needs to decide how we are going to handle the Earned Sick Time Act for individuals here at Ross Township. That would be including the volunteer firemen, our deputies, Mary Carroll and our office manager and our police officer are already eligible because they're full-time people. But the other people that we would have to discuss that. There's information in there that I had, that auditor Rude gave me concerning this. He is telling me, and I'll just explain to you what he explained to me, that the volunteer fire department should not be considered for this because they're volunteers. They can't call in to go to a fire and say, oh, I'm going to use my sick time now. So, because they're volunteers. And for the deputies, because they're appointed, they wouldn't fall under this either. However, our deputies do more than just our statutory duties. So we would have to consider whether or not we want to have them receive earned sick time. All the people I need to cover. Oh, well, the other thing is anybody appointed, like so all of our ZBA, our PC, the Board of Review, they are not covered because they're appointed. So this is something we can discuss at the meeting next month after everybody has time to digest this.
Also, I have, I have a sample policy I can provide you to take a look at.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Homework. Thank you. Any other committee reports? Anybody else want to take a moment to speak during here? Moving forward, Ross Augusta Fire Department Intergovernmental Agreement. We will be meeting August 21st right here in Ross Township with the Village Council. So we're excited to get everybody together again. And that meeting will also be on YouTube. It'll be live streamed so individuals can participate from their own homes. The newly petitioned Slow No Wake zone on Gull Lake. These are just updates and discussion. I did include my email that I received from Corporal Miller in your board packet. It also is up here on the counter right by the individual in the Purdue shirt for individuals to take home, and we posted it at the front desk. Corporal Jill Miller did reach out to me at 2:00 in the afternoon and indicate she was coming down to Gull Lake and was going to be meeting with constituents regarding the petition Slow No Wake zone. And I did put that out on the emails for individuals to know that she was down here. She has now started her investigation. She will follow back up with the township, and then we will go forward and do a public hearing. And then it will be, go out on the email blast system the same way the first notification did. And then we'll have a public hearing. It will be advertised. It will be official. But her visit last week was not an official township meeting, but that will be forthcoming towards the end of this year. So that's your update. Does anybody have any discussion or questions on that? Yeah, individuals were asking her when she was here, and she wouldn't commit. I mean, we do have members from the petitioner group here. They might have individual pieces of information to share if they'd like to. You could stand up and address the group. If not, then we'll just move forward with my narrative. Okay, we're moving forward. New business, public safety relations liaison. Thank you, Trustee Beeks, for your submittal.
That's different because the submittal that I gave was for the board liaison to the ambulance, correct?
Correct.
And I know I shared that I did not put one together for public safety or fire. at this point.
Right.
I'm gonna continue with, the motion that I made last time. That we appoint Mike to do that for the, work with the fire, with the, ambulance. Because I don't think
I'm not ready to go to the rest of the story yet. I think we can add that later on.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think that this is fluid, and I think we need to nail down the space before we incorporate whether it's going to be just focused on the ambulance or if it's going to be public safety.
Maybe it would be best if we all came up with ways that we might be able to do this other ways. I mean, Amanda and I were talking that maybe there's some procedures and policies we can put in place that would be able to, you know, figure out the scope of what this is going to look like. I don't know if you have any comment.
No, I think just as far as, like, public statements made by the town, like, anybody that works for the township, there should be some sort of policy, you know, like, I would not ever speak for anybody on this board or presume to know anybody's opinion on anything, and I think that there should be some sort of policy within the township that applies to everybody that works for the township, about what they should be allowed or not allowed to post on behalf of Ross Township. So it seems like a policy would be a good place to start as far as that goes.
Also, Lynn put in some input on this subject through an email. I think we all just need to kind of digest it and see how we want this to really go. Like you said, it's very fluid, and it's, if we want it to be public safety as well as ambulance, or include all of our public, aspects of this, including the fire department, the police department, and the ambulance. I think we kind of need to narrow it down as a board on how we want this to happen.
second, and that motion is no good.
Yeah, the way I look at it is, I offered a contract on this role. I think it's very important. But if Diana's motion doesn't get a second, I'll withdraw. That's fine. I shared at the end of the proposal that however the board feels it's best interest of the township, I would be happy with that answer. So I will withdraw my proposal.
I think as a board, we need to, that is important. Your proposal is important. But I think we need to decide what we're going to do with our building. We need to decide what we're going to do with that space, because you're focusing on ambulance. At one time, it was just the ambulance. I would like to see it for the ambulance, the fire, and the policing, because I think a three-pronged approach is best for individuals in the community to understand how many calls our fire department takes, our police department takes. That's important stuff for people to understand what we're doing in our township.
Yeah, I understand that. And I know that when we had our last meeting, the board asked for a proposal that they can chew on. The board knows that we approved the ambulance contract that specifically states we need a board liaison to the ambulance service. And now you are looking to morph it into something probably 6 times as large as the ambulance. And, at this point, there is no real board liaison to the ambulance service because the board hasn't appointed one since the contract was signed. So I would say that if you are going to combine the 3, then you're going to have to hustle and start getting ready to understand what it is you need to do, because we could be a month and a half or even 2.5 months into a 1-year contract without a board liaison, and then just leaving it up to everybody to assess the reports and get that information out to the public, as the proposal stated. But I know that my proposal was fairly full, and you are welcome to use that proposal in your consideration for whatever you think you want to bring back to the board as far as a the liaison work.
Thank you. I think your proposal was great. I think we need to, is there anybody that feels that we should make certain decisions in certain order, or is it just me? Do we want to continue to talk about this as a group and then move on to the next items, or do we want to, I can't be the only one making this decision. I want to hear from the group.
Well, I think you heard from the group when they said they will not second, or there is no second to Diana's proposal, so I feel you can move on.
Okay, moving forward. Township Hall lightning strike, I already did that during my committee reports. And then that brings us to the township building. So along with the township being struck by lightning and some services being swapped out, we've spent a lot of time outside looking at our building. Nothing takes you outside like a stray lightning strike. And we've noticed some things. We've noticed we've got an issue right here with our downspout. We have trees growing in our downspouts out back. We did have our landscape crew bring not a Hoyer lift, but a lift, and they would come and sweep the eaves out. I would like to talk about, because I have no idea how much it costs, I think we need to have a real gutter company come in and pull off the safety jackets, the filters that are up there, and really dig out what's growing in there. I think we need to have somebody come in and really look at the foundation and the eave that is here. We've got eaves trough issues in the back. We've had some torrential downpours and the water's just sitting on our foundation. We have a space issue. We've got a lot of things collecting out back, a lot of assets collecting out back. So for those of us that are here, these are things that we see, and I invited everybody to come and look at these things. And we need to probably start thinking about space and getting our belongings back inside and putting some maintenance and some care into this building. Thoughts?
No,
To do that though in 1 or 2 meetings. I think we need to do, just like we're doing with the fire board, is we need to make
Like a capital improvement plan. That's kind of how we got this building started. We didn't just do it in 1 year. We set the money aside once we knew what it was going to cost, and then we, compiled that for a number of years before we did anything. I'm not saying to wait 10 years, but I do think we need to form maybe a smaller committee or a small committee and, have them come back with some information and some proposals, some suggestions. Because I can't go ahead and decide on anything because I have no idea what the cost is going to be.
So what do we have in the maintenance budget for our building?
budgeted. Just some information, because I knew this was going to be a topic tonight, was that I did contact our bank on our loan for this building. We will pay it off next year, or we do have an option, if we would like, to, get a payoff and pay it off, and then we can start, as Diana said, looking at the capital improvements and saving some money that way. Right now, I don't suggest that we pay this off, because our interest rate on this loan is much lower than what Amanda has been getting in money markets and CDs.
What's the principal balance that's left on this building?
$97,603.87.
And you still have one payment this year and then the two next
I
year?
have,
This one's been done.
this year, we pay it once a year.
You already made it.
April 1st of next year. And that will be the last payment.
Right, and that'll be considered 2026, correct? Yes.
Correct.
So in your budget reconciliations, is there room for thousands of dollars this year for building maintenance repairs?
We didn't set anything aside specifically. I do have, again, the money in money markets and, places where we do have liquid funds that we could do some repairs, but I'd like to see some sort of bids and
Sure. No, I agree with Diana that, but one thing I'd want to just separate out is what are the maintenance needs so that we don't have a larger problem. But I'd like to see what the bids are, as we have, and then we'd also like to see how would we move money around in our current budget so that we can pay for it.
Well, I think that the process of getting bids and having people out here to look at things and start evaluating things is our first step. And maybe a smaller committee, like Diana said, would be good to deal with those people while they're out here on the grounds. But, because I walk around the building during my break, I was the one that brought the attention to Christina about this wall being stained. I'm like, we obviously have a gutter issue. And that's not going to do any good for our foundation. So, I think somebody coming out, taking a look at these things and giving us quotes so we can move forward, that's the only way we can do this. We can't just call people out here and start having them do work on it.
Oh, no, I understand that, but the inference was that we were going to combine building maintenance and expanding the building in the same project, and that's where I am confused, right? Because I know we still haven't paid the building off. We will have opportunity after the building is paid off to have those funds available, without going into the, breaking our budget, which I don't think we can do.
Right.
We'd have to talk to Jeff about that. So I guess I'm asking, are we looking to bring in people to handle the maintenance issues, or are we looking to bring in people to handle maintenance issues and building space improvement at this time?
I don't think anybody's discussed any of that.
Right.
All right, so we're looking at just maintenance.
Regular maintenance.
So the maintenance pieces, I know a couple of years ago it was the boiler, right? And we got that taken care of, and then we also have that on a better maintenance plan. So other than the gutter system, what is it that we're looking at from a maintenance perspective at this point?
Just the gutter system, cleaning it and then addressing the washout of the
Make sure that
brick,
we don't have foundation issues.
Sure. Okay.
which is more than what Michael can do for us. I mean,
understand.
he is our maintenance
I'll make a
person.
motion that we go get 3 bids to look at how we repair our gutter system and bring those back along with a budget, review and where we would get the dollars from.
I'll support.
So we have a motion with support to get quotes to repair the gutter system and look at improvement to the foundation. Is that appropriate?
And that may not be the same bidder, right? I mean,
Sure.
you got gutters, then you have your foundation if there is an issue, so, right.
So we have a motion support. Do we want to add to the motion support that we're going to do a committee, or is this something that,
I think you just go with it. I mean, there's so many gutter people available, and I'm sure they would know how to tear it apart, clean the filters, flush it out. If they put gutter guards on it, because maybe some areas collect pine needles or leaves in the fall.
You mentioned foundation. You mean finished grade, or there's no damage to the foundation, is there? It's just
Well-
finished grade needs to be.
so this right here, you can see chunks of the mortar coming out from between the bricks. So we are having water wear on this corner right here. Out in the office portion and in the back area, the downspouts just come out, and in the torrential rain that we've been having, it's pushing the grass out, so it's just mud. The problem is it's standing water right next to the building, so it needs help. I mean, I don't know if.
Both, then.
Yeah.
Yes. You mentioned the boiler.
That was
if
2-3 years ago.
Right. What did that come out of? What, if there's nothing in the maintenance, building maintenance, what did that come out of then?
I do recall, at least I believe, and we can have it double checked, that we did have a maintenance budget back then. And then even if we had to bring more over, then it was just a budget reconciliation that we did. But we did not go into, funds that were not budgeted.
Right. Thanks.
So we have a motion and support. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
None, motion carries. Thank you. So moving into the township building, as we know with our ambulance contract, and the ambulance contract is provided for everybody, we did look at the ambulance agreement driving the relationship space. And in the piece of the contract, it does state that they were going to surrender the 2 bedrooms that were in there because they are no longer staying over. And those are empty rooms right now. And those are areas that I know we need to decide how we're going to utilize that space. I would like to see the 2 rooms utilized for our police department. We do have Martin occupying a former closet. We do need a room for armor, ammunition, bullets, and we do need an evidence room. He does need an interview room, and he does need an office. So for his office can just be relocated. But that is how I would like to see those 2 rooms utilized over in the ambulance side of the building.
Have we got any idea what it's gonna cost if we do that?
No, I mean, this starts the discussion, right? I mean, we all need to agree that's what we want to look at, and then we can go out and get the quotes. Nobody can move in unless the board decides what that space is best used for.
So in terms of getting the quotes, would we work with who to do that? Because you're going to be looking at, just securing items. The rooms are there, obviously, with one door. You have access 3 different ways into that area. What would a company be that you would work with on that?
So for security into the building, we already have EPS, so it would be getting a quote from EPS to secure lock the doors, and we'd have to identify which doors, right? If it's the door that the ambulance employees are going to be using, we need to make sure that they also get fobs to be able to access the door. So it'd be working with the ambulance to make sure that they're not left out in the cold. Really just kind of figuring out what that space looks like, identifying Martin's door here already has a key code on it. I do not have security to access it, so I never can get in it. So that would most likely be the evidence locker, and he would maintain the security code for that. And then just the 2 other rooms one could be, a meeting/interview room, and then he would relocate his office stuff over there. So we wouldn't have to buy any office stuff. It would be interview table and, again, a camera. So it'd be sourcing EPS for some of those items.
Right, including technology. I mean, he'd have his computers in there. He might need different
Yep.
lines or Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, the ambulance already has their own dedicated server, and so we have upgraded them, and they can do their reports, and they're live when they come over and use that space. So I don't foresee that there would need to be a lot of technology other than cameras over there.
So at this point, we would you're thinking of utilizing the 2 rooms as they exist, just have one as a, meeting room and one as his office. His current office would become the evidence locker, correct?
That's
And then as far as revamping that area back there with, say, new walls, new layout, that would be a time then when we would have a building budget for room and improvement, which would be probably, we would get ready to do that in 2027 since our last building payment is in 2026. Is that kind of the way everybody would see that?
Makes sense.
I would say that's reasonable.
Then I'll make a motion that we move forward and get at least 3, at least 2 bids anyways, in terms of securing the area and making it into an office and a interview room, and also setting up his current office as an evidence locker. There may be other things that needed. I'd like to see 2 quotes on that, using the existing office footprint of all 3 rooms then. And then once we have that, we can, again, look at our budget and see what we can reconcile and make something like that happen in this fiscal year.
Is this motion to approve for that to be used for that no matter what, or is it just to get the bids to see what it would look like?
The motion is to get the bids so that they can bring that to the board along with the reconciliation opportunities in the budget so that we can decide at that point if we move forward. That's how I would read that.
We have a motion with support to get 2 bids to look at the security for the offices, the interview room, and relocate the police chief's office from the hall over to the former ambulance area and bring that back to the board for further consideration.
And using the same footprints of all the rooms right now, right? Yeah, I think that's important to put in there.
In the same space.
Right.
Very good. Todd, did you have
Bids or
something?
3 bids?
I wrote down 2. I believe
Yeah,
you
I
said
just had 2
2.
only because it's mostly technology, and we already work with EMS and
EPS, yeah.
safe care. So, but if you'd like me to amend my motion to ask for 3, I can do that.
I feel like, yes, I would.
All
Great.
right, I'll amend my motion then to get 3 bids. And I also will motion that those bids can be broken out however you see fit. You know, what I mean, if it's locks on door, you don't need that same bidder to bid how they're going to get the technology in there. You know,
Sure.
like-
No, I follow.
All right.
So do we still have support with the 3 bids?
Yeah.
We still have support with the 3 bids to get bids for security on the doors, and get quotes for office space, interview room, relocate the office space, and bring that information back to this board for further consideration and budgeting.
And outfitting the evidence locker. Yep.
Yes, and the evidence locker. And Amanda supports. Any further discussion?
So I'm curious, we currently have those services with the Richland Police Department. Martin has to go there and do his interviewing, and that's where his storage locker and all that is right now. Is that included in our monthly contract with the Richland Police Department? Or is that something they just offer us in addition to the $2,500 that we pay monthly for them to do the patrolling here when Martin's not on schedule?
So, because we back up Richland and because Richland backs up Ross, it's kind of an agreement that we share that space, but there's also the recommendation that we get our own space. So it's not included, it was meant to be a support feature, a temporary support feature. Can you lean forward so other people can?
That isn't included then in the motion.
No, Amanda just asked about the contract.
Clarifying question.
Yeah, she just had a question about the contract.
Because that would be more.
I haven't seen the contract, so I didn't know what was included in that.
Todd, or Trustee White?
I'm also curious, has anyone else shown interest in using that space, whether it be the fire departments, township offices, anything like that, or is it just the police? Okay.
We have no need for it from an
I
office
mean,
perspective.
Somebody mentioned about, maybe relocating fire over there and keeping all of police here, so, I don't think it would hurt to get bids and consider some things, but, maybe there's other ways too. So I don't know if, keep police on this side and then move fire over with all the fire apparatus, if that's an option. So that's the only other comments I've heard about it.
I feel like it would be nice if we had somebody in the community, and I'm looking at the audience right now, if we had somebody that has a building background that would be able to walk and potentially donate their time to look at our space and potentially give us an idea on best use of the space, and I'll just leave it out there, but the drive really is for it to not be disjointed, to have it be inclusive, and to have it be a product that residents can access and reach out to when they need it. So I would be interested in looking at
It's a
all
bad
those
idea to
options.
have, someone look at the whole space and see what might be the best way to revamp and work with the building itself. And I think that should, I think it's well worth having someone do that. And if someone would like to volunteer, you know where the office is.
So we have 3 available rooms, police needs 3 available rooms. Fire's on this side, training's on this side. There's no room over there to do training. All the police equipment is on the far side of the building where the 2 rooms would be. Evidence locker would probably stay locked 99% of the time. So I would like to see what somebody might have to say, but I just can't see how that doesn't make sense right now.
But it never hurts to look.
So do you want to hold the motion or hold the motion until we get that study? Because to me, it's going to be an office, and that's the only thing that the fire would need, right? So if you make it an office for the police officer and then decide to switch out offices, then that's just an office switch, right? You still have it outfitted, you still got your technology in there, you still got your locks. So my question is, next meeting, do we want to have the bids to do at least that and then determine if we want to move forward? Or do we want to hold off on getting the bids until we get a study on where everybody's going to go? Because that's what we're doing. We're just going to be kicking it down the street if we keep doing that kind of stuff.
Right, right.
So I'll just ask the board that. I mean, you can do the 2 concurrently, in my opinion.
I believe, yeah, that would be what I would suggest. I think everybody here knows we've got some really talented building individuals here in our area. We could certainly reach out and have them come and look and give us some ideas. But you're right, the fire department is already established here. They've got their lockers, their training room upstairs. They have the fire chief's office. They have everything on this side of the building. And so it makes more sense for them to stay here because this is where they're anchored. And the police chief's cruiser is over at the ambulance bay. So that's the reason why I suggested that police stay over there and fire stay where they're already established.
And if we do get a volunteer, I do believe they would want to spend time interviewing Chief Brown, Chief Bogema, maybe the command
should.
staff, so that
Correct.
they can each share their views, because you just can't come in and look at blank room and go, oh, hey, this would be a better thing. You got to understand what the needs are. So, all right.
So running in concurrent order, do we want to go 3 bids for architecture builders to come in and look at this, or you just want to get a couple? What if we can't get 3?
Well, to me, it's somebody you're looking to come in and just make a recommendation. You're not coming in and saying, how would we rebuild the building, right? I mean, it's just, what would you do with these 2 rooms that we now have access to because they're not used as sleeping rooms anymore? I mean, that's basically all we have right now. So I don't know about a bid. I just thought you wanted to get somebody's idea in case there's something we can do differently with those 2 rooms.
That could totally affect the bid. I mean, maybe they have an idea that, oh, well, if you did it this way, it would only cost you this, where if we did it the way we're thinking, we're not experts in that area. So
Right.
I like it.
Do it concurrently.
Okay. So if the motion passes, when we take a vote, we're looking to try and get bids by the September board meeting? Is that,
Yes.
okay. All right.
We still have support?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 None. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving forward into second citizen comment, this is the speed round except for our vendors. If you'd like to get up and address the reports that you left, otherwise, we have them. And vendors can kick us off if you'd like.
Well, I'll go first. Brian Walls, W-A-L-L-S, Vice President of Life Care Ambulance. Good evening. You guys have a copy of our report for August. For priority 1 calls, that's emergency calls, lights and sirens response. We had 20 calls, 16 transports. We were canceled on 4. We transported 1 of those calls, red lights and sirens, to the hospital. And our average response time is roughly 13 minutes on those calls. Priority 3 calls are non-life-threatening emergency calls, like a knee injury or someone falls and it's not a head strike, they're stable. We had 16 calls, 13 of those were transports, 3 were canceled, no transported lights and sirens, and our average response time is 19 minutes roughly for those. For mutual aid, we received help by Life EMS 3 times, and we helped Life EMS in their area 4 times. Destinations, you can see here that we transported 12 to Beacon, next will be Bronson, 6, and then Borges 3, with the ETAs below that. For staffing, for the AM and PM shifts, we were at 72% for the AM shift and 100% for the night shift. Memberships, for second quarter, 146 total. That's a difference of 10 that we lost for those. And then responses outside of town, Ross Township from quarters here, there was one, but it was a heat-related issue, but we were canceled en route, so our truck went back to quarters. On the back side, quality metrics, we met 100% compliance on all of our quality metrics. We transported all patients to the appropriate trauma centers, stroke centers. We applied the correct monitoring devices on all of our advanced airways, and we were able to put a 12-lead cardiac monitor on all of our patients with chest pain in under 10 minutes. Red lights and siren usage, our state medical director would like to have everyone under 5%. This is an initiative. Statewide, it's roughly 20%. Nationally, it's around 30%. We're pretty proud that we've been in the 2% range for quite some time now. This last month, it bumped up a little bit to 4.5, but we're still under the 5% and well under the state and national averages. Patient satisfaction, we're still in the 90s. We'd like to see that 90 and above. It did drop about 3 points from 94 to 91%. And then on the Ross Township Communications Report, there's only one update there. It's at the very bottom. KZoo Dispatch ended up giving one of our calls to Life EMS by mistake. We did reach out to them. They called us, but by the time they called us to let us know, Life EMS was already on scene. We weren't going to interrupt care. They were already on scene, so they just transported, and our vehicles remained in service.
Is that one of the 3, or did you discount that in the data? Is that one of the 3 that Life EMS Mutual Aid?
I'd have to ask Lori.
Okay,
Yeah,
it could be.
She pulled
but
us.
may
It could
not.
be. It could be. Yep. And I met with Chief right before this, Doug. And for the unresolved portions on this where it says pending, that was just the trainings. They have their schedules built out for the rest of the year, so we're looking at first quarter of next year to get those dates narrowed down. So we'll have that sorted out. And then may I ask one question regarding the building while I'm up here? Per the contract, will there be any changes to the existing living area, kitchen area that we use right now? Is it really just those rooms? Are there any pending changes?
I don't
to
want
the
to
living-
talk for everybody, but at this point, our motion was using the exact same floor plan, so it wouldn't happen at this point. But as we approach 2026, 2027, and we have some opportunity for modification within the budget, I would think everything would be looked at that time. Would you agree with that, or?
I would agree. Brian, we're just looking at the 2 bedrooms. I mean, the discussion that we had is the discussion that we had.
Yep.
We're not looking at changing the floor plan to the living space at all at this point.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean in the future
Okay.
that conversation won't take place.
Our crews asked us, like you saw in the email I sent you. I was
Sure.
just curious, so I could at least let them know.
Sure.
All right, any questions for me? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Where is? Our Sheriff's Department deputy left? I don't see him. He left. Okay. Next. Oh, I found you. Would you like to address the board, or you?
Don't really have much, but I can come up and say hi if you like.
Well, hi. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, so I'll be able to make more attendance because I'm done with my staff at command school now, so I'll be able to come out more often. But besides the stats that we sent you, there really isn't much to report. Everything is going pretty good up in this area.
Good. We appreciate you coming. Thank you.
No problem.
Good to see you.
You too. Have a good night.
You too, sir. Moving. Jim Harrison. Deputy Harrison. Moving into public comment, we have the speed round. You have 1 minute to address the board.
My name is Mark Rogers. I just want to make one nerdy engineering comment here. When you hear averages, A lot of times averages don't tell you too much. I mean, if I were to give you two numbers, 1 and 9, what's the average of that? 5, right? What's the average of 4 and 6? 5. I'm not saying that the spread of the numbers often is more important than the averages. So when people are reporting response time, I think it would be good to report what was the slowest response, what was the longest response. That gives you a lot more quality in the service that you're getting.
Thank you, sir. Next.
Apparently, I missed the 3-minute window. I didn't understand what was happening. So my name is Amy Upjohn Light. I'll speak extemporaneously, really quick, just for 1 minute. I listened to our last meeting here at Ross Township. I was not present, but there was a piece of misinformation that was shared. So I was unfortunately the main witness to the fatal boat accident that happened on July 5th, 2020. It did not happen within the no-wake zone that is proposed. It happened straight out from hang on, I do have to look up this address. It happened straight out from 737 South Gull Lake Drive, and if we were to create a no-wake zone encompassing where that fatality occurred, it would need to be between 737 South Gull Lake Drive and the island, not in the cove encompassing Mosquito Island, if that is a consideration.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I know you have comments. Do you want to send those to the clerk?
Yeah, sure. And I also got an official report from the sheriff's office. I could probably do the same from the Kalamazoo County prosecutor.
That would be fantastic, Amy. Thank
I have
you.
one of those now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy, not to put you on the spot, but have you shared your information with Corporal Miller?
I have.
Thank you. Good. I want to make sure you did that. Thank you. Next.
Hi there. Hi, my name is Brooke Johnson, and I'm down at the south end here. And in regards to the no-wake zone, so we have a generational house down on the south end, and I feel strongly that perhaps we should not add another no-wake zone on the lake. Of course, it does get busy on the weekends, and there are safety concerns, but they're not exclusive to the cove under which we're discussing. Everyone on the lake shares both the gift of being here, but also the burden of the boat traffic. If we shelter or prohibit speed in one area, boats do tend to increase their speed immediately upon leaving this no-wake area, leaving the rest of us residents there on the south end subject to that. And that example is clearly shown in the bay often. Obviously, there are resources to everyone. Our lakes are, and not only for residents who are lucky enough to live on them. I would hate to see neighbors pitted against neighbors.
Thank you.
Trying to get special treatment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
My name's Dave Gross. I had 3 comments. The building seems fairly new, so maybe it isn't. Have you thought about going back to the contractors that built the building if you're having problems with drainage and other issues?
Great suggestion.
That's number 1. Number 2, I'm right across from where the buoys are for the no-wake zone. So what happens to me, opposite what happens to her, they come in hot, they stop, and it creates a tidal wave into my property. I've had to put boulders out in the lake to try to prevent the waves from coming up. So that's a comment. And the third question, is there a way to get a hold or contact the person that's doing the study, their email, just to?
Yes, right there. And I said this earlier, but on that countertop is Corporal Miller's email and phone number, and she wants to hear from everybody. So please grab a handout on your way out.
Well, I'm sure when they put those in, they didn't realize some of the impact. But people come in really fast, they stop, and my background's engineering, it just creates a tidal wave right to the shoreline, so.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Thank you. Can you spell your last name for the clerk?
Sure, G-R-U-S-S.
Thank you, sir.
What I put down, I just wanted to make sure I got it right.
Next. Anyone else? I'll be closing public comment.
I was trying to get this last piece of information in before my time went off, but I just wanted to make a clarifying thought and full disclosure. When I was putting together the numbers, I did not put anything that said unknown because we truly don't know who it is. So the numbers I gave you are the numbers that had Chief Martin on them. So I wanted to just clarify that for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. There being no further comments, I'm closing second public comment at 7:00 PM. Moving into trustee updates. There are none. We have exhausted our agenda, and I'd be seeking a motion to adjourn for the evening.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and support to adjourn for the evening. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Everybody have a great night.